Visual and physical illusions, or so-called magic tricks, have been known for their social ingenuity at bars, restaurants, or other public places. And they can be used to gather crowds or just impress a group of friends. And then a magician or an illusion performer can have an arsenal of equipment that, such as a handkerchief, coins, fake thumbs, capes, hats, wands, or even playing cards, as I have right here. I would like to show you how to perform one of my favorite tricks with a stripper deck and explain how the trick works and show you how to make your very own. This looks like a very ordinary deck. And the way one of my favorite tricks goes is that I will have Robin here select the card. Go ahead and you can show it to the class and everything. Okay, and then go ahead and put it anywhere you like. So, sorry for the uneven spaces, but just put it anywhere you like. And a lot of people tend to think other people tend to thumb or stick their pinky wherever Robin would put his card in, but I'm not putting any fingers between any spaces. So, actually, can I get you to do that again?
That's okay. Let's see the card? Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, nothing on my fingers. So what I will simply do is just shuffle this deck. But I will shuffle it in a non-ordinary fashion where each deck will get shuffled upside down, inversely. So I will show you now. You can see the cards. They are in different, facing different directions. Ones are forwards, ones are backwards. And I would just give us just simple different cuts here. Shuffle it. And now I will look for Robin's card. And pay attention to how the cards are facing as well. Is that your card?
Yeah, that's it.
Hey!
So, this deck, a stripper deck, is actually, this looks like an ordinary pair of decks, and it looks like a perfect rectangle. But actually, one side is actually a little bit narrower than the top side. So, very simply, if to find any card, like I did with Robin, I showed him a card. What he did, well, what I did, when he gave me back the card, I flipped the deck over. And so when he actually put his card back in, the wider side actually stays on one side, stays out. So you can't really see it, but it's actually sticking out a little bit here, and the narrow side's down here. So if I just slide my hand up, the card will actually come up itself.
Cool.
And that's why the card is always found. And I will show you a video on how to make your own.
I started by taking two different decks and I sandwiched one in between parts of the other, so it was double thick. I made sure the whole thing was totally flat. I wrapped about 8 rubber bands around it so it became like a brick. I put it into a vise And then I started using sandpaper to sand down the one side to get a bevel. And you were able to get a bevel all the way from the base of one side down to the other. And now the only thing is you end up with a tight corner on the one end, which I rounded out with more sandpaper on there. If you do it right, when you pull the whole thing apart, you should have a very smooth, very subtle bevel that would pass inspection with most people, unless they knew what they were looking for. And to be honest, very few people know to even think to look for a stripper deck. In fact, if you want to pull them.
So that's how a stripper deck is made, and if you do make your own, the way to test if you actually have it correctly is if you actually flip a card over and do it several times with your own deck of cards, and actually try and slide your finger up, pinching the sides to pick up your own card. I will pass these around, so if you guys would like to try it yourselves. And thank you very much.
Thank
Thank Robin for helping me.
you. Yay. Are there any questions for Erin? Erin, why did they call it a stripper deck?
Yes, that was the question. Why?
Stripper deck because you can simply, it's called stripping whenever you're pulling the sides up of the cards to pull out that card. So
Oh,
it's stripping a card to get it by itself whenever
oh.
you slide your fingers up.
Thank you so much. Stripper, baby cakes, stripper decks. It's just a lot of strippers.
Hey Aaron, did you use the same technique that they used to
To make that,
strip your deck?
that one was actually custom made, or already made that way.
Oh, really? Okay.
So you can buy them yourself also.
Uh-huh.
Also, the first time why it didn't work out was that I turned the deck over, but he also turned his card over. So when he put it back in place, all the cards were still in the same vertical position instead of one being upside down.
Look at that, Robin. Drew I know. Drew a hitch into the get along, man.
So yes, when you're performing this trick, you do have to you have to have an eye to see if they actually flip their card
Yeah.
and make sure you're not.
I mean, next time cooperate.